Hi everybody, welcome back to Mando Lessons. In this lesson, which is part 5 in a series on bluegrass, playing bluegrass on the mandolin, been using Man of Constant Sorrow as our example. In parts 1 through 4, we worked sort of starting with the chords, then learning to play a simple melody, then embellishing the melody, and then embellishing it further. In this part, we're going to change it to a different key. We've been working in the key of G. We're going to go up to the key of A and just I'll run through how I might approach the tune in the key of A. A lot of time with bluegrass, whoever's singing, they need to pick a key that fits their voice. So, you may go to a bluegrass festival and walk around and play this tune at one point in G, one point in A. Sometimes people sing in C or D or B flat, kind of wide open, just to sort of see all the different options. Like, it really depends on who's singing and what their vocal range is. So we're going to go to the key of A. In terms of playing chords, if you've been doing these G chop chord, I am a man of constant sorrow, I have seen trouble all my days. You can just move everything you've just done right there up 2 frets. So your A chop chord is here, which is 9, 7, 4, 5. And then you go kind of over strings towards your head to get your D chord. So you have A, then it goes to D, and you bring that towards your right hand 2 frets, and there's your E chord, then back to A. So same exact shapes, just in a different spot, and that'll get you to be able to accompany your voice or kind of chord along with whoever's playing in the key of A. And then in terms of taking a break, what you're going to want to do is find that melody again. So again, I'm not going to go through the entire process, but if I give you the first couple notes, the first little phrase, I am a man, is 7th. Again, our fingers are staying right in this shape rather than moving back down. We have, if we're down here, but our chords are right here, so we can just play out of this shape. So it starts out on the 7th fret of the A string, and it goes 7, 5, 4, and then 7 on the D string. 7, 5, 4, 7, I am a man, and our hand is right there in that chop shape on the A chop chord. And then from there, just sort of pick out that melody. Find those notes. And because you've got that in the key of G, try to find those notes in the key of A. It's a great ear exercise. Because now you've got the melody, you can sing it, and you know what it sounds like to play it in the key of G. So you just need to move those notes around and find them on the instrument so your hand can stay right in this nice A chop shape. And the same holds true for playing those solos. So like we had in G, you can do that same thing in A using very similar shapes with your hand. So in G, if you just watch the shape of my hand, I'm not playing any open strings there. So we can do that same stuff in the key of A. So it looks the same, again, just to get you started. 7 and 5 on the A and E strings. Slide in. I So it's 5, 3, 4, 7. 5, 3, 5, 3, 4, 7. Now we have this, what would be a D shape with the 4 and 5 on the D and A strings. Then move that same shape up, like we did in G. We got so that high bluesy note. We have 7th fret on the A string and 3rd fret on the E string. To help me now. I'm kind of throwing out random words every time I do this, but if you want a bunch of words, look at part 1 of this series on mandolessons.com. I've got a bunch of different words written out. Makes the song interesting to sing if you've got more than one set of words to sing, one sort of verse to sing. So I'll play it in the key of A, and if you watch my hand, it looks just like I'm playing in the key of G. I'm just up the neck a little farther. And so one thing I forgot to mention is once you get to the key of A, you really want to leave in the key of G. We were playing all these strings. In the key of A, when you're playing out of this shape, you really only want to be playing with your right hand. You only want to be picking notes that you're fretting with your left hand. So you're not going to have that same opportunity to hit those open strings. So it's a little more contained in terms of right hand use. But it sounds like this. And again, my hand is staying right in that nice A shape that whole time. So I'm not, tell no friends to help me now. You can go down, but it can also be a nice sound to just stay right there. Nice and contained. And that really helps you, if somebody says, okay, let's do it in the key of B flat, you say, oh, I don't usually play in the key of B flat. Well, you do now. You just go up 1 fret from A. All of a sudden, you're in the key of B flat. It's now out of my singing range, but I can still play a solo. Same solo, just slightly different notes, but the same hand shapes going on. So that really can open up playing in a bunch of different keys for you. And again, sort of staying contained with your right hand, so you're not, if I try to play those open strings in the key of B flat, it just doesn't work. So really only with your right hand, play the notes that your left hand is fretting. So if your fingers are on the A and E strings, only play the A and E strings. So try to work out that solo that I did in the key of G, up in the key of A and up in the key of B flat. And really, that works well for any bluegrass style solo, is the sort of the approach that I took here, where learning the melody to sing, so it's in your head. That way, it's sort of already halfway into your fingers, so when it comes time to play the melody in your fingers, you have something to sort of guide you. You can say, does the melody go ya da da dum, or does it go ya da da dum? You say, no, it's the first one, ya da da dum, and you can sort of teach yourself to play the melody once it's in your head. And then from there, adding in some double stops, spend some time in any particular key. If you're in a group that likes to play in the key of B major a lot, you should spend some time up in the key of B. And just sort of, work with maybe one solo at the beginning, or try to build some solos. It's great to be sort of spontaneously creative and inventive, but I think something that can help your spontaneity in improvising is to really kind of work out where these double stops lie in any particular key, and where your chords are, and sort of how to get from one place to another. And the more you do it, the more you'll be able to find those pathways in different combinations to sort of create different sounding solos. So you're not always playing the same worked out solos every time, and you've got a little variation there. So that's all for now, I think. Let me know what you think in the comments. Check out all the other lessons over at mandolessons.com. Also, there's a couple ways to donate, which is great. Helps me make more lessons like this, but is not required, as these are all freely available if that's your choosing. So have fun, get out there and find some folks to play with. And really, the more time you can spend working on these skills in different keys with different songs, the more you learn and the more bluegrass songs and solos and melodies that you learn, the easier they come. And after a while, learning enough of them, you end up just being able to take a solo in almost any situation, unless somebody throws a really kind of oddball chord into the mix and you got to figure out how to find that. But then, just ask what that chord is, take it home, woodshed it a little bit, and come back next time and you'll have that worked out. And the next time somebody throws one of those weird chords into a song, you'll be ready for it. So thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.